Hello students and namaste everyone. I am Dhaval sir and our today's topic is your Unit 3 poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree. Isle means an island, right? So this poem is written by William Butler Yeats. So as written in the introductory paragraph, this poem is a lyric. Lyric means a musical poem, a poem that expresses deep personal feelings in a way that is like a song, right? So, when the poet wrote the poem, he was living in London, and so he had decided to take break from modern society and all the hectic routine and schedules of his life which made him mad, right? So working all day and moving here and there, and the sounds of the vehicles and the factories and everything makes a person mad. And so he had decided to go to a place he loved the most, which was Innisfree. Okay, so the poem is about an actual place near the coast of Ireland, right? The lake Isle of Innisfree is a very small inhabited island, that is the place where very less number of people live. So the poet describes the isle as a much longed, that means he is having a strong desire to go over that island and live with peace in the natural beauty, a quiet place where the poet feels most relaxed. Okay, so that is what the story or the poem is about, the brief summary of the poem. So now we'll read line by line, okay, to understand the poem in detail. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. As I said, Innisfree is the place, okay, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made, 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee loud glad. So here in the first para, the poet takes a decision to leave London and go to Innisfree, and where he will build a cabin, right? A small hut or a house of clay and wattles to live in. Now wattles means what? So wattles are strong sticks that when interviewed, right, it forms a structure. Okay, so from that the roof can be made. He imagines his garden with exactly 9 rows for growing beans, right? So if he'll go to that island and if he lives over there, he'll need something to eat. So he decides, right, that he will grow 9 bean rows exactly. Okay, and he wants to have a beehive for honey over there, right? So next to his hut he also wants a beehive from where he can get honey for himself, so that he can live near it and hear the sound, or we can say a loud buzzing sound of the bees, and not the sound of factories and vehicles of the city and its civilization, right? So why the poet has decided to leave London? Because it is very noisy, it is very dirty, right? And dirty in the sense, it is full of smoke and everything because of the factories and vehicles and the sounds or the honkings of the vehicles. So he doesn't get peace over there, but to get the peace he wants to go to Innisfree, right? And instead of hearing the sounds of these vehicles and everything, he'll get peace by listening to the uh, bee loud glad, that is the sound of the bees. Okay, next paragraph. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veil of the morning to where the cricket sings, their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evenings full of linnet wings. So in this paragraph, the poet says that I want to go to Innisfree just to get peace, just to relax myself, and For peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings. So veil means a piece of fine material which is worn by women to hide their faces. Usually Muslim women, they wear veil on their faces, right? So ultimately through this lines is trying to say that in the early morning, due to the fog, the brightness of the sun cannot be seen, right? So it is the time when there is a total peace in the morning. Then as and when, dropping from the waves of the morning, so as and when that uh, fog is cleared and the brightness of the sun comes, right, the cricket is an insect which makes sound. That means it keeps singing, right? So with this singing of the cricket, even the writer gets peacefulness. Their midnights all a glimmer. So at the night time also, the writer when sees the glimmer means shine, right? So we have seen that at the night time, uh, when the moon gets reflected on the water, right, the light of the moon, when it gets reflected on the water, that means here on the lake, it produces glimmer, there is shine on it. And noon a purple glow, that means in the afternoon also, uh, purple glow means the noon would be purple because of the radiant sunsets that we can see when we are out of the smoggy town. That means when the place where there is too much fog and smoke and everything, the brightness of the sun cannot be seen properly. But when it is clear, a place which is free of pollution, you get to see the clear brightness of the sun, right? Which makes it very peaceful and happy. And evenings full of linnet swings. So even at the evening time, the writer feels peaceful when he hears the linnet. Linnet is a gray color bird, a short or a small brown and gray color bird with a short beak. Okay, so that is the description how he'll get peace in his free. Then in the third paragraph, again we can understand how he is longing to go to Innisfree, right? And all the description, whatever is given above, is just the imagination. That is what he'll do when he will reach Innisfree. I will arise and go now for always, night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. So, what he's saying that I'm very eager, I want to go to Innisfree, and there he'll be able to hear the lake water lapping, right? So, lapping means striking with low sounds by the shore, where I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep hard score. So here he's trying to say that he'll be feeling very calm and happy when he'll be listening to the lake water lapping, right? Because usually the sea water which is near the cities or the places where there is sea water which makes harsh sound of crashing sea against the rocks, right? So it makes a loud noise which is not good at listening. But the sound of the peaceful lake is very quiet. That means when you get to listen to the sound of the lake water striking, it is very peaceful and quiet. Okay, and it makes a deep impression. That means our heart feels very much relaxed and happy. Okay, so that is what the poem is all about. And so through this poem we can understand, right? So right now I'm going to tell you about the moral of the poem. So the moral of the poem is that we should learn to value the nature, because it has the tendency, it has the capacity to heal or remove all our sorrows and the sadness or the depressions, etc., right? So that is what the poem is all about. Thank you everyone for watching my video and listening to it.